Alright, here we go, guys. We are getting ready to head out of town. We're going to scoop up some backpacks once the shop's open. It is move-in day. We are heading to our new base location. We're going to go somewhere weird. We're doing the high bone fields, and it's roughly right around here. There's a small peninsula where I can put up just one tiny wall, and the rest of it is protected by just the natural lay of the land. It'll be easy to set up and we'll be able to get moving quicker. I think that for our purposes, all we really need is water, room to put down a building or two, and iron. That's all we really need. We're going to be producing crossbow bolts and food, and that's it. That's the only purpose to our base. We were able to craft all of the armor we need from here in town. We may even leave Ribs here to continue. He might. Uh, oh no. I forgot about feeding this guy. Sorry, got distracted. Almost let the 80,000 bounty die. But the plan is to only really use it as a place to rest up and to farm some food. We've got hydroponics, so we're not really worried about what the fertility's like. We just had to have water and access to iron. We're going to make iron plates and then make those into crossbow bolts. Any other crafting we would do will be done either here or we might set up a chain armor crafting station in Katoon just because there's so much material there, and there's even a nice little trick I found to get steel bars for the price of iron plates. Or at least cheaper than it is to buy the iron plates to then make them. So let's see. We've got everybody. I'm going to take the bounty with us. I don't have a bounty in the UC, so we'll probably drop him off before we get to building. Right now, we need to make sure we've got as many backpacks as possible. We're not going to worry about getting animals without mods. They just take up a slot for a fighter, and I'm not feeling it. We're going to get everyone a backpack before we even head out. We'll make sure everyone's got food. But I spent a lot of time looking around at where we could possibly go, and I didn't come up with much, nothing that I liked. I didn't necessarily, I about busted out the Paul Rogers videos and just took a look at his recommendations, but I've done most of those places before. I've tried to build in the high bone fields before, and basically the way the terrain worked, the pathing got jacked up, and no matter what I did, my guys couldn't walk around. So we're going to play around with that and see what we're able to do. We did come back with so much food that we couldn't even put it all away, and with a ton of uncooked meat for Khaled to work on. So we're heading to the field with plenty of food. Crossbow bolts are coming in a little slow, but that's kind of the purpose of why we're setting out today, is to make sure we have an ability to just keep making them. The amount of iron plates that were available in town were not enough to keep us producing them. If we come over here and look, I don't even think we're going to have a ton of them right this second. Yeah, maybe one or two a piece. More than what we already have. And we didn't quite have enough backpacks in the shop, but if we have to walk around a little bit, Flats Lagoon will have good backpacks as well. And this is just to get us going to get our base. Once we have our base set up, we'll be able to make crossbow bolts more reliably, and that's the biggest concern. Not running out of ammo and not having to take breaks where we're just sitting around burning through the food that's available in town. The high bone fields would give us a lot of food to scoop up while we're there in case we start running a little low. And on top of that, we're always going to be able to go out and hunt for food if need be. And there's going to be beak thing nests. So we'll be able to hit those up for a little bit of extra cash, things like that. Take some iron plates with us. And we're just going to buy out a few way stations on the way there. Now, the guy you're carrying, is he... He doesn't have any food on him. I wonder if he's just going to keep going up in hunger as long as we hold on to him. Maybe it's because he's eating out of my pocket. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check on that. I think we can turn him in. The closest would maybe be Brink. So we'll head straight there and see about turning him in before we turn south to our destination. That way we can stop in at Brink, we can maybe hit Flats Lagoon, and then hit Katoon before we head over. We'll pick up some iron plates, some building materials. It's not going to take much just to get the gate up and then build a building behind that to shoot from. We're not going to have the usual long hallway of turrets. And frankly, we're not going to have enough people to man a ton of turrets. We're going to have 10 people sitting at home. Maybe we'll have 4 total, up to 7. But ideally, we're going to rely on our technology to really boost our ability. Oh, they did decide to notice us. Really boost our ability to protect our base. In other words, we're going to have some very fancy harpoon turrets. As usual, the bandits aren't really an issue for us. Are they done fighting us, or they still want some? Nope, they still want some. Pure geniuses over here. But we'll head up to Brink, turn this guy in. He was going to be like a training dummy for us, but it just didn't work like I had hoped to. And we haven't really needed it. If you look at some of these guys now, their melee attacks are coming up slowly. It's happening. We're tanky enough that I'm not too worried about it. I don't like that we're going through the swamp. That wasn't necessarily the plan. I don't know why it took us this way, but we will definitely make our way out of the swamp quickly. The swamp's just a lot more dangerous than the normal trek through. The only thing that's going to stink is going through Venge, all of those robots, but we're prepared for it if we're just passing through. This place is going to be a little bit of weird of a setup. It's going to look kind of like some of the Shek Outlaws just crammed into a corner, but I think it'll fit our purposes. It's somewhere new and it's somewhat central. I found a spot over here in the swamp that was pretty cool because you're outside of this dingy haze of the swamp. But it was even more compact. I didn't have a ton of room, and I just didn't like that from some angles it still looked like this. You know, at night it was still kind of scummy. Didn't like it. I looked at some spots in like the northeastern part of Shim. I wanted to do something in the Deadlands or like the Iron Valley, but there are no resources. Sometimes there's iron, but there's no water or anything else. Looks like we're under attack again. Is it just the one dude? Who's attacking us? I do think there are other places that would be cool to set up as a base, but specifically for what we're doing, how we're primarily hunting technology, I wanted at least to be center, left, and right. Shim would have been the best spot, and using water would have been the best strategy, but I just really wanted to do something different. We're going to have really good harpoon turrets, and I want to see if they're worth all the hype. Beeps trained up. Hugh, you're getting there. What's the total skill? He's working on it. But I'm trying to get at least 4 or 5 people trained up on turrets. That way they can use them effectively. I'm also hoping that the sheer quantity of beak things will keep some of the people off our back. We'll just have to see how it goes. It'll be cool going through Venge at night if we could get there. Maybe we won't have as many people to deal with. I know that the lasers aren't going to matter. So there's that. Other than the dude on my back might get roasted. That would be pretty lame. Hopefully he doesn't get murdered. I don't have a way to protect him from anything either. Maybe we should have taken a different route. We could go down to Flats Lagoon. But see here we're running into reavers and stuff, maybe even skin bandits. I don't want to mess with that just yet. Skin bandits are going to be terrifying. Although we did kidnap their leader, so I wonder how that affects their spawns. I recently did a playthrough where I had mods and I built an entire skeleton army, and it is terrifying just how many of those dudes are down there in Sonorous Dark. There's just entire legions walking around. Man, you are crazy if you think we're gonna let you just take our stuff. Why does this guy want him so bad? Fight somebody else, dang it. I just don't want to waste crossbow bolts on these nerds. Plus, this is a great way to train up our melee skill on enemies that are just that weak. Alright, we'll make the... No, guys, we're staying together. We're not going to split up. This isn't Scooby-Doo. there's some more beak things. I don't really think we need the food. We're going to have an opportunity to get a ton of food later. I'd rather hold on to our crossbow bolts until we get to our destination. It did make me think, I want to take the straight shot. We're just going to push through here as quick as we can. We're going right by their base, but it is what it is. Did I just miss a bunch of bandits? No. We're running into a pile of beak things. What's up with that? Well, since we're here, I guess we will take some food. It would be nice to squeak through here without even getting noticed, but we're heading straight through. It'll probably follow this road, and we're going kind of close to the control tower. It looks like there's something up here, too. I need to keep an eye on this guy's health, make sure he doesn't get cooked alive. We're taking all the trouble to, go turn him in. I don't want to get half price. They didn't serve any purpose for us otherwise. Okay, so this is just a busted up way station. See, that's what I was worried about. Did that hit him? It did. Belt, go ahead and back up over here. Somebody just said they don't have a med kit. That's not good. Cat and Bard don't have a med kit, huh? I was supposed to check that before we left. I got excited. Not the end of the world, but I'd like to make sure everybody has them in the future. There's a little bit of walking involved in today's stream, but once we get there, it's going to be great. We're going to set up a base. We're going to move all of our civilians out there. It's going to be fun. We will not be bringing them through Venge, though. That's for sure. We'll come through the border zone, come down through the edge of Shim, like right on the border between Shim and the swamp is fairly safe. Hit the edge of the burning forest, straight into the high bone fields. Keeping them safe is going to be dodgy at best, but we'll do what we can. We might even hire mercenaries just to be extra fodder. Yeah, I think if we hired extra mercenaries as fodder, we could bring a lot of them with us, and it wouldn't be too sketchy. Because I'll want to set up our chain armor crafter down in Katoon. I don't think I want to leave him clear over in the hub. And I don't necessarily want him at the base just because there won't be enough resources for it. What are those guys? Samurai scouts, huh? Oh, we made it out of there. We're back in UC territory finally. We don't have everything we're gonna need with us, but we'll be able to buy what we need from around here. Katoon should have a shop for us. If not, Brink or Black Scratch will. We just need to acquire some green fruit. Oh, farm shop, perfect. And then police, excellent. That's what we're looking for. We'll have Belt take him in there. He's not dead, so that's nice, right? Let's see what they have to say. Just a typical bounty, huh? Skin bandits hate us now. We'll take that money though. Now we need farm shop. So once the farm shop opens up, we're just gonna double check. We didn't buy any green fruit or any farming materials. We're gonna have to kind of play it by ear. We just want to get the defenses and the building for defending it up, along with some food, and then we'll go from there. Is there anything in the bars that we could want? Just more food. Wouldn't hurt to buy more. This way, we have a ton to just stick into the food barrel when we get there. That's definitely for the best. Come on now, guys, open up. We got stuff to do. You're farmers. You should have been up hours ago. I guess that's not true. This is just a store. Show me your supplies. Tons of green fruit. Perfect. Excellent. I don't think we'll need cotton. I'm not really concerned about any of the other food stuff. And we don't want animals. So there's that. I do think I want to do a playthrough where I don't want to do the recruit anyone mod because it's going to end up with me just taking beak things, but just go and buy bone dogs the regular way. Or maybe I do let myself recruit boneyard wolves, but have a combination of those guys and crossbow users and see how it goes. So we do know now that Brink has the farming stuff we might need. We'll hit Flats Lagoon next. We should be, well, was there an archery shop here? Weapon shop. No, it didn't look like there was anywhere to buy crossbow bolts. So we'll just go ahead and head out. We got paid though. That was nice. We got a lot of money to turn that guy in. Gave us a little bit more of a padding to get started with. I know to build our turrets, it's going to take steel. So we're going to have to be on the lookout for that. We'll probably have to buy that from Katoon. We really don't have a ton of space out here. But I feel like we're going to set up just our generic little tiny base. And then I'm going to have to build a mega base somewhere. I'd rather build that like in the Holy Nation territory though once we crush them. Because while we don't necessarily want to take out all of the different leaders and things like that, I don't see us coexisting with the Holy Nation. We're definitely going to kidnap all their leaders too, so we're at least going to tick them off. So they'd be one that we'll probably do away with. In the end, all of the leaders are getting kidnapped by us, so we'll probably end up everyone hating us or everyone's just defeated. The hardest part might be not killing them all. We're getting really effective with our weapons, and they're very deadly. What is this? Oh, the robot's coming at us from downhill. That's a bold move. Well, that didn't take much. Head on down to Flats Lagoon. I know we can buy a few spare bolts there. We might be able to buy some supplies, and then we'll head to Katoon. That's where we can get our steel and iron, some more building materials. We might even be able to get more green fruit, and we can go from there. What does it take to build hydroponic vegetables? Iron plates, electrical components, and green fruit? That's nothing. I could have sworn we needed copper alloy. Maybe that was for fuel? We should be able to get wind, though, on the high bone fields. If not, this whole thing's going to get interesting quick. But I didn't want to put too much time into it. I had tried there for a while, and I was not happy with what I was finding, looking around myself. I just don't have as much information because I like the same base areas. I've based here, just north of this way station, probably 5, 6 times. And then another one was over here. This was one of my favorite bases in Occurrence Pride, but we were playing as the Holy Nation. So that's a whole different program. Gotta watch out for these spiders, man. They just keep creeping up on us. Seems like crossbows handle them just fine, though. I wanted to build one out in Venge, too, but that would mean, like, stopping what we're doing, getting armor built for everybody. Because the only thing that protects from lasers fully is the crab armor and the crab helmet. I just didn't want to do that. I really didn't. And it'll make them all heavy. I want to have like our people that are just working around the town and then our soldiers. That is the idea. Once we get our base set up and we've got stable food and stable crossbow bolts, then we might look at doing our own bandages. That wouldn't be bad, although I feel like we'll be able to restock on those pretty easily. Liquid fire. I don't remember that being acid water. Weird. We'll just bring everybody over this way. I didn't want to swim anyway. There's crab raiders all the way up here. Interesting. I wonder why the crab raiders are up here. The only leader we took down was the leader of the skin bandits. Maybe that's a result of that. Ooh, and we did turn him in without bothering to ask him questions. That was part of what we're supposed to do. But he didn't respond to anybody, that's right. I went through and tried to talk to him. He basically told me to pack sand. Which is what I'm expecting. I don't think any of them are going to tell us anything. I'm just curious and want to take the time to do it. Show me what you got. Got big backpacks. There we go. I don't like these tiny backpacks. We're going to go ahead and replace those. It's just easier to sell them the meat and buy it back. Is anyone else holding a baby backpack? No. I don't want to spend money on technology that I don't know if I need it yet. Who doesn't have a healing kit? There we go. Buy the rest. Get him another skeleton repair kit. We don't need bolts bad enough to sit around and wait. We're going to head to Katoon and try to get the materials to get our base up and running. It does remind me, now that we're out here, we're going to have guerrilla bandits to deal with. We might have to go wipe out their leader too. What I don't want is to end up in a crab tournament with such a small scale base and not a lot to protect it. I always thought that was weird that like if you set up a base, I feel like you could only really send a small group out or you can't defend it effectively a lot of times. Oh, Voth, what on earth are you doing, dude? What is the deal here? Let's go that way. We're gonna stay on land and head up to Morn, or at least towards Morn. It should take us that way up towards Morn if it's gonna follow the road. It would be sick if we encountered an elder beak thing here, just because we'll be able to take it down. And we can bring it with us as a training dummy. That would be pretty slick. Not much in the way of material here, but every little bit helps, you know? I really would love to run into an elder beak thing though, scoop him up, because they make great melee dummies. You can just put them in the bed and then punch them. I didn't want to do some kind of over the top training arc, but if we end up waiting around for a bit, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Or if we wanted to make a super soldier kind of deal. I don't plan on crafting cybernetic limbs myself, it's just too much of a hassle. But I might see if we can buy some over time. It's just whether or not they restock enough for us to realistically use them. And we'd need some kind of function for money, and I don't think crossbow bolts are going to be it. Looks like the beakers did notice us, just not any of the big ones. It's always crazy watching these things get absolutely dropped. They get hit with a wave of crossbow bolts. Ooh, finish that big guy off. Amazing. Grab the furs for trading later. We may as well grab the eggs. We're here. Peace, come grab their eggs right quick. Alright. Got a little bit of loot for our trouble. That'll just make buying things even easier. We're going to go ahead and swap out Hugh for Namtran. And we got attacked the moment I switch the camera off of us, and they're already close range. That's tough. I just don't want everybody standing in a giant death ball with beak things, but normally we'd get a drop on them, but I decided to switch back to town without pausing it. Oh, geez, there's even more of them. Yeah, we don't want to get caught out like this. Not with that many of them. That's crazy. But we will single them down, and that'll make this a lot easier. Um, who do I want butchering animals? Do we have another trader's backpack? Yeah. We'll have you be our forager. Oh, you won't do it without a storage nearby? That sucks. We're just gonna pick a few more of these clean, and then we're gonna call it a day on that. Yeah. Let's get to Katoon. That's enough distraction. What I want to see is if we can just get a quick pop-up town going and then somehow get our guys safely here. That's going to be the real trick, is getting everyone here safely. Who's getting murked? Band of Bones? Okay, we're not worried about that. Belt, make sure you hit the shop before they close. Who else has a trader's backpack? There we go. He can't afford it. Rough. Okay, that's everything we needed from there. Belt, try and weasel your way into there too. Okay. That gave us steel. Nice. Alright. We have an archery shop. Try and get in there before the doors close. Nice. Who's got stuff to trade? You sure do. We'll take the bolts. Alright, I think we sold everything we wanted to sell. That's convenient too. Alright, time to go check out this area I've picked out and see what you guys think. It certainly doesn't look like food would be a concern if we were going to stick around town or maybe even train up all of our guys and equip them. We might have been fine. What is he doing? Oh, I didn't turn Hugh's job off, I guess. There we go. So Namtran wasn't getting his training in. Oh, we have disappeared. So sometimes when you're loading a new area, it'll do that, but here we go. It paused. We should reappear. Good old Kenshi bugs. So this is the area we're looking at. It's a little hard to see, but the only way in and out of this particular side is right through there. It's completely blocked off otherwise. So what I want to do is put defensive gate, and I believe I pulled the gate back a little bit. Well, let's double check everything I wanted is still here. So there's some iron. I believe there's iron, yeah, in the middle. There's no real copper. We'll have to deal with electricals or, buying electricals from town and whatnot. But I'm not as concerned about that. We have iron and food. This is a great spot for our starter base. We'll also hunt around for like an epic place for a mega base to finish out the playthrough with. But this will be, where it all started type deal. I think that's a good spot. And then a good 45-degree angle. One more there. That's not going to work. Maybe I pulled the gate further back before. So it was either use a building behind it, but I think I can build a one-sided hallway almost. And that'll work pretty great. But it was something like that. I'm going to fiddle with it a little bit. A little bit of base building montage here without the montage. Nah. And then a 45 from there would be like that. And then we take that sucker all the way up. And so this will let us have harpoons that are pointed straight at that. As long as I've got room for a ramp. I don't like... We'll see. As long as this ramp works, that'll be okay. We just need to be able to access this area where we're shooting straight at their backs with our harpoon turrets. That's what I want to do. And it doesn't look like that wall's built correctly. Son of a gun. Alright, that's okay. Let's try this again. We need this to be a nice right alongside there. Another 45. There we go. And then this can just be straight up. And now we've got more room for activities here. I think we can put a ramp here. And this defensive wall will just go right into this edge here. I want to make sure nobody's got jobs set up just yet, because we don't have as many building materials or plates as we would like. So we're going to set up a mine and a processor. And I know that zero's probably freaky, but there's definitely place to get stone around here. Ugh, at least there was the last time I did this. That's not looking great. There we go. Okay. Not the best, but we also have access to buy building materials, and this is all we're building besides a few literal buildings. Stone processor 4? Yikes. So many iron plates. I'm gonna wait to see. And that requires power. I'm not gonna have power. We'll cancel the mine for now. I need power first. Wind generators. And generator 2. We want it to operate off of electrical components because now I can just buy everything. And we want them in like the weird places. Or they could honestly be right out front, I think, as well. Because I know I'm going to have to put an ore drill there. I'd like to have the building right here so that I can point turrets at the wall there if I need to. Just so that if there's a crazy raid we're expecting, we can bring everyone home and call it a day. We'll see. I'm kind of doing this as we go. Not a ton of forethought going on into this. I think we're just going to build it up bit by bit. And then storage. We're going to have a food store right by the gate. A few meat stores. And we're probably going to need more food storage. And all these can be taken down later as I get buildings up. But I just want to have a way to put stuff down and go get more. Let's see, storage for electricals and steel. And that'll do for now. This is just to get the base built. I don't want anyone doing any engineering just yet. Build that. Now we'll get people building everything else. Because I was careful and made sure the walls were done in even blocks, it actually uses a lot less building materials and builds a lot faster too. So if you look at it this way, oh man, I'm doing good. Oh, I missed your chat at first. But right now we are trying to get our base set up. We're in the middle of it, and I was just explaining when you do the walls here, every time you do these individual pieces, that's like 2 building materials. But if you build it all in this one connected piece, it burns up a lot less. So we're getting our base set up pretty quickly compared to what you'd typically expect. Oh, Bean Hop, you are so stuck, aren't you? That's not cool. How do I pick up Bean Hop? There's got to be a way, right? Turn off your job belt. Let's see if we can get Bean Hop picked up. There we go. Put him down. What are you guys doing? They're tweaking. Oh, they can't figure out how to get up here to build this wall. But yeah, once we get this built... Oh, come on, guys. Oh, no. We're already getting attacked? We just got here, man. There's a whole crew coming? What in the world? Alright. I've got... I don't want any of their garbage. I've got to figure out how to get somebody that has building materials up here. Griffin, you got building materials. Come up here. No, get that thing built. Come on. There it goes. And here's the wildlife coming up to get us. I am not worried about these guys, really. I think we'll be fine there. That was terrifying. Who said that? Griffin? Ah, it's not a big deal, dude. Alright, we got Moo already scavenging the animals, which is great. We'll keep up on the food. Yeah, I just got back to checking it. I was in the middle of trying to build this dang thing. I didn't mean to miss you earlier. The whole thing I'm trying to do now is get our base going. We're just setting up this little tiny hole in the wall base so that we can have some food production and some crossbow production. At least the bolts. We've still got food. Why? Oh, not everyone has jobs turned on? Come on, man. I feel like we built everything up here. What's up with these? Why are they not built? Do we have iron plates? We still have iron plates. So some of the things we're building too, let's do a save and load, see if that helps. A lot of times the pathing can get messed up, and just loading things up will help them actually run around and get this stuff going. But we're at day 53. I don't know if you've been catching up with everything we've done so far. We're pretty early into the game, And we've already got everyone geared out. No, they really don't want to build those. That's crazy. Maybe we can fix stuff. Nothing needed fixed. We're probably going to have to build the power by hand. This is my favorite game. I would have to say it's somewhere between this and maybe something like Path of Exile, but this is easily one of the games that for like a single player game I've put the most hours into by far. It's I've got close to 3,000 hours in it. I've played dozens of playthroughs. There's so many different ways you can approach the game, especially if you have like a head canon for it, like you got goals you make up for yourself. Like we're going to be tech hunters basically and try to uncover all the different lore books and stuff. You can download a couple mods. It's way better with mods because then you can build an entire army of like 200 and some dudes and go take on anybody you want. You know, you can decide how over prepared you want to be. It's incredible. I'm going to have to build the power manually, though, it looks like. These things just want to be difficult. Or I put those physically where our guys can't get to. We'll see. Yeah, they can get to it. Just sometimes these weird little areas they don't want to. Yeah, I'd check it out. They're going to come out with Kenshi 2 soon, but you're going to... Well, soon is maybe me being hopeful. But there is a second one coming, and it's actually going to be a prequel where it's a lot higher technology. This is like after the world ended 2 or 3 times in a row. And I guess the next one is going to be covering the way the world used to be. Yeah, he's totally not going to build this automatically because of where I put it. Rough. So when you put big buildings like the windmills I just put up in somewhere strange, they won't go build them automatically. You got to do it yourself. You have to like actually manually take them over there and build it. This is one of the reasons why I haven't built in the high bone fields a lot. There's a lot more areas like that out here. I ended up having to build a lot of it manually, but with what we're doing here, we're going to have like a small area just cordoned off to ourselves, and we're just going to do food and crossbow bolts. We're not really doing too much with our base. We're only going to have like 10 people here to defend it, so we've got to have really good turrets, and that's about it. We're not going to have much else. And we're going to need a lot more electrical components, but that's okay. Oh, we can drop off the green fruit too. We've got a ton of stuff for farming that we don't necessarily need to keep on us. Mainly this playthrough is just about... Oh, did we have more than we could store? No. This playthrough is really just about kind of taking revenge on the game. It can be a bit difficult, especially if you don't look up how certain things work. It's one of those games that it's really fun if you kind of commit to. It's a nasty, scary world, and if you were to be a random bum who just walked outside and decided to try and be a samurai, you'd probably get murdered immediately. So if you build up, you look at how you can acquire resources and things like that, it's a really fun game. But it's definitely one you got to take some time to learn. But anytime, if I'm ever bored, I don't have a game, it's rainy, it's crappy out, I got nothing to do, I can always pick this up and just go do something weird. because you can be tech hunters, you can be warlords, thieves, bounty hunters, assassins. You can just try to be farmers and be like, get off my lawn, kid. All you do is set up a place where you just want to be left alone. People won't leave you alone. There'll always be bandits trying to take what's yours, so you got to learn to defend it. And that's where the story comes from. There's tons of lore, having conversations with the NPCs, and there are a ton of things you can uncover in old books or just talking to the robots that roam the world. But it's really just about what is your story. Like the best story I've ever told with this game was one of my other streams. I had an entire army go after the Bugmaster, all 30 of us. We didn't leave anybody at home to guard the base. We took everybody, and we were not prepared. Even as someone who's played the game a lot, I overestimated how well we would do, and it was way too early to go after a target that dangerous. Almost everyone died. Two people make it back to base. Two of the female Shek we had made it back to base alive, and it was just them. Everyone else died. Even Beep died, which is just horrible. I died. I had a character named after the channel, just casual D, and I died. And then the two female Shek come back to the base to find out that the local racist cult that hates the Shek has come to demand we participate in prayer day while we were gone. We weren't there to have one of our white guys go do that. So they showed up ready to kill them, and it was just the two of them. Well, just the two of them with a couple of turrets held off the entire assault down to a one-on-one fight. God of War Ragnarok? Yeah, I haven't tried that one. The God of War series isn't something that I stuck with. I played the first one and loved it, but I've always been more playing on computer than console, and basically fell into rabbit holes of games like this. That's part of probably why I haven't played God of War as much yet of the new ones, is because of games like Kenshi where you can just play them forever. What did you think of the new one? Ragnarok's the newest, isn't it? Yeah, I probably will. I always end up catching up with some of these games after the fact. Okay, so Ragnarok, that's the one. Isn't that the one where his son shows up? That's not the newest one. This is where his son starts trying to learn from him. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. I feel like I've got to play. Oh Jesus! So only bad thing about streaming this game is you get distracted and wander into giant blood-sucking alien spiders sometimes without noticing it. One of them didn't even pay attention. He's just going after somebody else. I'll take that. Let's get these guys down. This is awful. These things are dangerous too. But especially so the reason I was thinking I should try Ragnarok especially was because I've got a son that's like 12 years old now. Not like he's 12 years old now, and we have a fairly similar. I'm a bit of a taskmaster of a father, so he kind of gets a lot of the sit down, get up, the meme from that one. I think it'd be fun to play that with him. Maybe do some co-op, like taking turns and whatnot. We are taking a beating to this wildlife. That isn't going to be another upside of being out here, though. We are going to get into a lot of fights that should give us a little bit of training. We're not able to walk in, are we? Okay, just making sure. It looked like they were going to just walk right through. Like our gate wasn't even there. Okay, I don't need the steel yet. Griffin, you go ahead and grab the iron plates. That one has enough. So the other thing we got to think about is if we start getting raided. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. Once we get these stupid windmills up and one shack with some batteries, we'll at least be able to get some kind of mine set up so we can finish getting this going. I may cave and just build some wind generators in a more reasonable place, but I want to leave room by the iron mine so I can mine a ton of iron as I need. Who else has a trader's backpack? You go ahead and grab the electricals. The slight bit of forethought I put into this, though, is that I did opt for using the better windmill generators that take straight electrical components that I can just go buy. Is this no wind? That's not good. I thought I was going to have wind up here. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So what was the takeaway from Ragnarok? What was like the gist of it as far as like what's the best? Is it just as crazy of an action game as the others? Did it have a better story? I don't know if we're gonna be able to rely on wind here. That's no good. Alright, we've got wind. I probably built my storage in the worst place possible, but that's okay. Can't even see the electricals. Okay, and then I'll want to build my power over here. I think a storm house will be fine. So back here in town, I'm just trying to get some of these guys trained up on turrets. Got our blacksmith here. He got completely jacked from crafting a ton of armor. We've got some of our weird little rejected bug boys. The hive thought they were defective. That's kind of the lore behind how they end up leaving the hive and becoming playable. So we didn't mess with Beep, but all of the others, we made sure they looked like they shouldn't be part of the hive. Alright, we got that built. Oh, somebody always gets stuck up there. We're going to build these battery banks one by one just to maximize our resources here. Because otherwise they'll half build like all of them and then leave none of them completed. So we got 31 iron plates, only 7 electrical. Is that everything? Yeah, we burned through the electricals quick, but that's okay. So we'll build one more battery bank and call that good. So these aren't even registering as part of the base. I'm probably gonna have to save and load again. That is rough. I think this is also part of why I didn't build in the high bone fields. We might be learning a hard lesson here that this just isn't gonna work. Because this power, these spinning, should be giving me power. So we'll do a save and load, and if that doesn't work, we'll do a save and import. And if that doesn't work, we're just gonna cry and figure out what we're gonna do next. But base building can be something that takes a little bit of debug work, sadly. It's an amazing game, but I'm excited to see what Kenshi 2 can do. Yep, that still didn't do it. We'll try the fixed stuff. Nope. Wait. Yeah, these are in our base. This shouldn't be an issue. But every time I've had this problem, I import it and everything works. So we just exit, and you can't import, which kind of fixes, reassigns, updates everything that's been built without closing the game all the way. It's kind of annoying. It's a quirky game, no doubt, but there's a reason that anyone who loves Kenshi loves it to death and just puts crazy amounts of hours into it. So I need to import. We'll leave everything the way it is. There we go. Now we're getting our power. So that fixed it. Hopefully we won't have to do that every time I build more things for power, but we'll see how it goes. We're charging up the batteries, so that's good. We're definitely going to need more than that, though. We also could stand to do a little bit of hunting while we're out and about. So if we see any animals that drop a lot of meat, we're definitely going to take advantage. I was really hoping to get the base fully up and running today, but we got a late start. I'm not sure if we'll quite get that far. I'm definitely not at the point that streaming's like the number one thing I do. I've definitely got other responsibilities I have to deal with, so I don't always get to start whenever I want. Maybe some building materials. That should be good for building materials. We'll buy some steel. We are going to want beds, and we do need one skeleton bed at least. Uh-oh. My dogs are going crazy. Leave it, Lily. Oh, boy. Sorry, my hellhound was going crazy. She did not appreciate whoever walked somewhat within, I don't know, 3 feet of our apartment, so she had to let him know to go away. Now that I thought about it, though, I do want to grab food whenever we're here, too, just to make sure we don't run out. We've got a ton of money, but it doesn't hurt. And we'll hire some guys to bodyguard the base. We don't really need it, but at least somebody will be there. Give us a little extra backup if something crazy shows up that I didn't expect. There they go, heading up to our base. I know it's like a weird spot, but it definitely let us get the walls up super quick. And the walls tend to be where you waste a ton of material. Maybe waste is the wrong word, but it's definitely the biggest expense to building a base. So if you can put something together like this where you don't have to, and your walls are kind of mostly natural, it works out great. I'm not sure how much power we're going to need, so I am going to build a few more wind generators. Whether or not they'll build automatically is anybody's guess, but we'll try. Hey, there we go. They are building them. It's a miracle. So importing the game probably fixed the pathing up here, which is great. And I'll probably just build up a decent amount of batteries here. And if we run out of stuff, we'll just run back to town. It's not the end of the world. Now that we at least have some power, we can get some stuff going. I really want to hurry up and just get the basic infrastructure up so that I can start producing food. Once we can get food and crossbow bolts being made at our base, we're pretty much independent and we're not tied to how much money we have anymore. Then we can spend our money just whenever it's convenient, use it as a crutch if something goes horribly wrong, as things tend to do in Kenshi. But we're building up on this plateau at one of the highest points in the high bone fields, and we're going to take advantage of this weird C shape here and some very high powered, high technology harpoon turrets so that we can defend the base. Since we're playing without mods, we have way fewer people at our disposal, so that's the biggest concern. I'm imagining, yeah, we probably ran out of electricals before anything else. But we've got enough power going that I think we can start building out our farming building. So I could do a bug house. That's not the one I want though. I like for any of my really big buildings, I almost always do the station house. And I don't plan on using that iron resource, so I'm not worried about covering it up and being in the way. We've still got extra laying around. This is going to be where we set up our hydroponics. So the way we did this playthrough, we hit Narco's Trap and the Desert City pretty early. We used our skeleton here named Belt to run and get the things we needed before we put him in heavy armor. We got him qualified in sneaking, and we were able to get a lot of powerful technology pretty quick without having to go anywhere super dangerous. Oh, they're just working on it still. Goodness. So we're basically rushing to getting up to where we can go around fighting people. We're sitting here in pretty really well crafted gear. We're using crappy spiked clubs because they're just here for the bleed effect that they do. When you combine that with the really good crossbows we have, we can pretty much take on anything. It's just the creatures like skin spiders that are kind of harder to hit with crossbows that can become a problem. All right, we got the first station house built. That's going to be where we do our food. And we're going to worry about that before we build any kind of barracks to rest in. So let's get Belt in here. I'll get this laid out. We have, how many green fruit do we have? 54? Oh, we have a ton of food to cook too. Okay, great. So for 54 green fruit, hydroponic vegetables, it's 10 apiece, so we can set up 5 of these for now. So the reason I want to worry about how much green fruit I have on hand is, again, I don't want them to build these up part way. I want these built up completely, and then we'll store some green fruit. And once we have some in storage, that's when we can start building the others. But I want to make sure we get these built and they start producing before we do anything else. So we need to get Beep out here. Beep is going to be our farmer, just because I like keeping Beep safe. I've had some unfortunate tragedies happen to Beep when you play as many times as I do, like separate playthroughs, and you play them as much as I do, and you have a bad habit of trying to conquer the world. Beep gets killed a lot more than I would really like to admit to. And I don't really do the like save and load unless it's like a very clear bug. Sometimes somebody will, you'll try to put them down and they will enter the stratosphere. Well, it's a moon, but it has an atmosphere. So yeah, the stratosphere, we'll call it that. And you won't be able to get them down. Like if he flopped up there when I put him down, I couldn't get him back. You have to like import the game and move him. It's one of the quirky things that can happen. But anything short of that, if we just lose a fight I didn't expect to, or we get attacked by more than I expected, I don't ever save and load that. And it was completely vindicated when I had that great comeback story where we fell down to just 2 people from 30, and we were able to completely rebuild and finish all of our goals just from those 2 Shek. You guys are just hanging out outside? That's kind of weird. I guess I'd almost rather they were outside the gate for defending the base. I don't really need you to defend. I need the gate held. But that's what they always do. They wait and come inside. At least they didn't beat the dang thing down. I want to stay together, guys. So we need to go get Beep soon so that we can actually have him farming. Yeah, I'm just kind of, it's a little, it's less hectic than it would normally be because we're well equipped. We're not doing a grungy, grimy playthrough. It's certainly not a blind playthrough. I'm pretty well versed in this game, so by day 56 to be building a base and being confident it's going to work out just fine, and being able to fight whole nests of beak things is not super normal. I'm sure you could do it faster if you wanted to, but the biggest thing about this playthrough was to make sure we're having fun. We're not just, you know, doing the super most effective thing. We're doing the things that are fun. And the fun things are winning fights. Winning fights is fun. Winning a fight is fun. But losing fights, having people die, having to start over, having to wander the map looking for more recruits, because recruits are not the most common thing in this game without mods. Having to go on like a recruiting hunt and then get them back to wherever you are safely sucks. So I really like to not even bother venturing out of town until I can keep them alive. And yeah, it's been the most fun playthrough I've had. I've been very happy with how it's turned out. Everything has gone pretty much how I expected it. We haven't had any fights. I knew, even with the crazy gear we have, these guys are all still basically noobs. When we hired everyone except Kang and Griffin, we had just Belt for the combat team. Every other one of these guys had ones and zeros for all of their stats. They were complete noobs. They had no fighting ability whatsoever. So we still could run into things that were sketchy, and we got through that part, and now we're good enough to take on most things in this area. I like, for instance, I would never go to the Bugmaster right now like I did before. I've learned my lesson. But yeah, we're having fun with it. We already took out like 3 separate bandit factions. We probably could have taken out more, but I got tired of manually buying food and stuff. I really want to just have it be automated, and it's not really doable in town. You need a well, and you can't build a well in town. So you can't really automate food. We were hunting for a while, but I want to be hunting for technology, not just food to sustain ourselves. That's another thing about this is that you can just go and have a different idea. My goal is to set up a base fairly central and go hunting. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, if you've got a question, I would just fire it off. You don't have to ask if you can ask. Um, I wouldn't be against it, but I don't know. Depending on what you do, I'm not making any money off of this, so spending money on it isn't necessarily a thing I'm super into yet. I know for like my channel, my sister made all the graphics and stuff that I have, and I really liked them. But as far as stream stuff, I haven't really gotten my stream set up. It's just not something we're there with yet. I probably should put some more effort into it if I want it to go anywhere. It'd be cool. It'd be something I want to do, but I'd definitely take a look. Okay, we got everybody here. Those are built. Water. Now I've just got to get the wells built. And we want those close by. I don't ever bother with the storage because they're automatic. Let's see if that'll do it for now. I'm not sure. You know, that's a good point. I'm not sure how I'd even give you that. I definitely don't want to just blast it to the stream. I'm more of an internet hermit person, not so much a public figure type guy. There should be a way for me to send it to you, though. I'd have to think about it, though. Can add. I haven't added anyone except family and real life friends to Discord in so long. There it is. Why is this being so crazy? We're not even burning through our power at all. That's nice. Um, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm just trying to figure out what my actual username is in Discord. I probably sound like an idiot right now, but oh, what's the number? It's because I know I need to give you the number too. There we go. Oh no. There we go. As long as I'm not a complete goober, should just be that. How are these producing water without being built all the way. That's weird. Okay, we need a lot of building materials, it looks like. I don't know if that popped up for you. Alright, we filled those up. We're in bad need of building materials now. I need to get the crew out here to put them to work, but that's going to be dangerous to say the very least. I don't even think I want to take the time to put in a mine though. Because once we build these, we can probably do our smithing on the top of this building and be done with it. Yeah, we're just going to buy more building materials. We'll use the upstairs as our general area of conducting business. Okay, yeah, looks like I was able to add you. I'm not completely dorked up on how to use Discord. I need to put my electricals somewhere else. I can't even see them. This should be one of our last runs for supplies, though. Then we can just go get the crew. We don't need to go starting it with other beak things just yet. That's just a regular beak thing. We've already blown through so much money. I'm gonna make sure I just get building materials and electricals this time. Maybe some iron plates, no steel bars. These names are wild. Some of these guys are named like Paste and stuff, and that always trips me out. How crazy the names get. Maybe we'll build a couple beds. We're burning through cash like crazy though, because we're not earning any right now. I got tired of getting distracted by people getting attacked at home. How low are we? We've got crossbow bolts. Let's go ahead and get some food going. We really did have a ton of meat anyway ready to cook though, so it might not be a big deal. Next thing on the agenda is to head back to town and get our townies and get them here safely somehow. Emphasis on safely and somehow. This will let me store all of this extra random crap that I had. I don't want to store fabric there though. This has definitely been a build as you go style situation. I may have to redo this a little bit, but we're just trying to set up a barely functional, moderately self-sufficient outpost. I think we'll have Belt stay here, although leaving him here alone is questionable at best. Turn everybody's jobs off, load them up with food, head back to get the townies. And we'll have to load up with the food we have there. We're gonna go ahead and save because every time I try to adjust my squads, the game loves to crash. Add squad, home base. Let's put Belt in there for now. Take everybody else straight to Squin. Alright. Oh, we lost somebody. Griffin, what are you doing? That's why I like the draw square here, where you can actually see if you really have everyone. I wish we weren't cutting through the swamps, but it's probably safer than cutting through Venge. You know we gotta grab the food while it's good. And these guys are just big packs of meat. That's the other reason I thought real hard about setting up in the South Wetlands. But I had kind of the same problem with the high bone fields, and there's no iron. So if your goal is to build crossbow bolts and have food, it's not going to work because you can't build the crossbow bolts. I could have done the swamp here and there, but South Wetlands, where I was wanting to build, I couldn't find any stinking iron. Slave raid. Are you serious right now? I knew leaving him at home was a terrible plan. If Belt gets enslaved, I'm gonna be so mad. We're gonna put him on passive and hold and all kinds of sneak. Maybe we can even get him put up on the wall, like way out of the way. That is the last thing I want to deal with is our fearless leader getting enslaved while we were gone trying to grab the townies. Why'd you guys stop? We gotta get home. Well, back to where everybody else is. Where's your food? Oh, it's stacked up better. Okay. Some of them have the stacking backpacks and it made it look like they didn't have any food. What? A red saber. Boy, howdy, did you pick the wrong ones. Are there more? It was the one dude. Whatever makes you feel special, dude. You just threw your life away. He's dead as hell. I don't even see him. He was around here somewhere. Oh, yeah, you're super dead. That was dumb. Bard, Bard doesn't have food. I did skip a whole bunch of them as far as putting food in their inventory. That's not going to be the end of the world, though. The other guys will share it with them. How's everybody back in town doing? You guys are okay? Sand, we're going to take you off of turrets. Bean Hop, you get to turret training. No, guys, stay together. Stay out of the water. So in the swamps, one of the worst things you can do is get in the water. If you can get your guys to avoid it, you always want to, as they hop right back in the water and disappear. Guys, can you stop with the cloaking device? It makes it a lot harder for me to see what's going on with you. There we go. Sometimes you just have to load out and load back in. But yeah, getting in this water was a terrible idea, and I really wish they would quit it because the blood spiders will run up on you in the water and just start killing you. And there isn't anything you can do about it while you're in the water. You just get eaten. And I want you guys to head up this way, but stop getting in the water. Just stop it. Luckily, we're almost up out of the swamp at least. Ooh. Do we have everybody? We didn't lose anyone. We'll have them line up just a little bit. Is it really just one guy again? There's a random blood spider. Okay, there's the rest of them. But if you look at these guys, they're just getting absolutely obliterated. And one of the main things that crossbows do, besides doing a ton of damage, is they do a ton of bleed. So when our melee weapons do the same thing, it just kind of helps. It lets us not need high quality weapons. None of the sidearms are fantastic compared to a main weapon. If I was going to really grind up a crafter for it, though, I'd probably give them short cleavers or just pump up their strength so they can keep using high quality spiked clubs. But I think that takes a ton of strength. We'll kind of see how far into the robotic limbs department we get before we worry about that. Do these guys have loot? No. Bunch of garbage. One of my favorite mods for this actually adds a ton of loot to the bandits. Well, not a ton, but it gives them something, you know? Because they wouldn't be. They're not starving bandits. They should have some amount of money or some amount of food. So it usually gives them some kind of loot for you to pick up. Yeah, every time we run anywhere, somebody from our group starts singing, and somebody gets upset with it and throws a rock at them. We've got some real enthusiasts for song and some people who absolutely hate it. And we'll turn off all their jobs. Make sure all of their jobs are off as well. Okay, now it's time to load up on stuff. I think the research bench is still full of stuff. Oh yeah, my goodness. Arrow making bench doesn't have squat. Having a sneaking outfit probably isn't a terrible plan. We've got some of our Meitu collectibles that we could bring with us. We don't need the garbage training weapons. We have a pretty hefty amount of food. All the meat did get cooked. We have a ton of armor plate we could put to use or sell. We've got a few electricals. Oh no, beep, that's not what I meant. And it won't be terrible to have some food laying around here still, just to have a fallback point if we absolutely have to. We're going to be moving slow anyway, so it's not really a big deal if we load people up like crazy. Loading them up with food specifically is great for the transition, but I think we've already got so much that it won't be an issue. I would love to bring some more electricals and some supplies. Let's go see what they have in here for us. Lots of electricals is good. So we're not bringing a ton of stuff if we just take what's from here, but that's okay. We will make sure we sell off everything we can. Let's see. Oh, that's okay. I think I filled everybody's inventory. We do have some people that don't have backpacks, so let's see if we can fix that. Not the ones I wanted, but they need something. At least everyone will have some kind of backpack except Beep. No, Beep can have a backpack too. Bring some more healing kits. Griffin, you can work on selling this stuff. We've honestly been so over prepared that it's not a big deal making this transition. I kind of thought it would be tougher, but as long as we can get our townies there safe, I'll feel like it wasn't that bad at all. Okay, so he can't buy anymore. Okay. Actually, we'll just line everybody up, pick them up this way. Our ragtag group of town workers, our gigantic smith, the random cat we picked up. Is that everybody from Squin picked up? Okay, cool. We can't make the squad any bigger, so it is what it is, and we will head back to our outpost. Yeah, look at my gear, that's fine. The hard part's going to be if we get attacked and get knocked down. Not super excited to try and make it out of the swamps without having our townies on our shoulder. I don't want them getting wrecked. This should be the last, like, just long slog of a trip we have. After this, it's all tech hunting from here. We'll try and make sure our base is well defended. We'll fight off a couple raids before we take off. Make sure the food supplies get built up. But after that, we're hunting. We're going to go to every location that has anything fancy or cool that we can find. We'll probably save the Ashlands for last because with only 20 people, that's going to be a nightmare. I'm going to want picture perfect gear, and I might want more than just 20 people. I'm not even sure that's doable. See, there's already people coming to mess with us. Not that that worked out great for them. Guys, come on. You guys have to stay together. What are you doing? I really don't understand why they insist on splitting up. It's frustrating. I can't have it. I can't have it. We cannot split up. You guys are gonna have to just get over it and stay together. No. Oh, no. Oh, I hate the swamp so much. Who's the slowest? Probably Griffin. He's super encumbered just because of all the stuff he's carrying, so we'll have everyone follow Griffin instead of deciding to go do their own thing. There we go. This should get us through the swamps without too much fuss. We still got everybody. I forgot some of these guys have lanterns on. I don't know if I necessarily like that. But as long as we don't lose anybody, I'm fine. If we can just get them to the new base, I'll be happy. Oh, why are we swimming, guys? Why is this a thing? Bunch of dorks. Oh boy. Let's just get across this water so that maybe they'll stop going to the water. And now we lost everybody. This is obnoxious. Just trying to take everyone through the swamps has proven to be more of a pain in the butt. Just because they keep wanting to split off and go different directions, and that is the easiest way to get killed and left behind. And we're not going to stop for anything. No matter what's going on. We are just getting out of here as fast as possible because this whole traveling through the swamps is tragic. Is it just water? Is that just what it's going to be? There's no way around it? I thought there were land bridges through here. Oh boy. Let's just get here. Let's just go. It seems like there's just no getting away from going through the water, which sucks, but I'll manage somehow. Let's change our formation here to military. I feel like that's a little more effective for the swamp. More blood spiders. We didn't drop anybody, so that's good. We're gonna save because we're touching the squads. I'm gonna scoot Griffin over. That's all I wanted to do. Seems like we got through the worst part of it though. The middle part, right in here, there's just so much water. It just sucks. But I think we'll at least be on solid ground the rest of the way out of here. It's not terrible having everyone in formation. I just sometimes you run into barriers on the left or right side that people get stuck on. But when you're turning a lot, they're even more likely to have that issue. You fear no one? Let's change that for him right quick, guys. Aw. Aw, he should have been afraid. These guys don't stand a chance. Really should have been afraid, man. It doesn't even seem like we sustained an injury. That's how bad you guys were. Are these guys enemies? Probably, yep. None of our unarmored guys are getting hurt. Beanhop got hurt back in town, so it does look like carrying them is protecting them from the random crossbow fire. So that's good. I love the like banjo goofy hick music out here. This is definitely where I would do a hermit playthrough if I was gonna do one. I am pretty happy with our toughness progress. Almost everybody's up above 25. Or, well, 24. It looks like about half of them are at 24. I cannot wait to get out of this stinking swamp. There's so many enemies. Some of them are having to get the old school beat down. Oh, he lost a limb. He lost his arm too. He got so many crossbow bolts in him that he lost a limb. That is rough. So these guys don't give any usable meat, so we're definitely gonna ignore them. But we want to just get where we're going. We've got enough food. We've got the farm set up. Getting close. I love the night sky of this game. It's so cool looking. I wonder if we'll get to see the planet. So Kenshi's a moon in the orbit of a planet in this game. And I'm wondering if we'll get to see the actual planet or if we're just going to be stuck on the moon still. Because while we're running around with like samurai style armor and crossbows and swords and whatnot, they had space travel, they had sentient robot technology, nuclear weapons, everything you could think of, really. So before we head up there, let's check on Belt. Oh, here they come. What is he doing? Belt, get out of there, man. Let the mercenaries earn their keep. We're just gonna stay here. That is a big raid, and we don't have our turrets set up. I'm just hoping they leave before spotting me. Looks like they enslaved the mercenaries. A lot of good they did. Dang. So that's what I'm worried about, is that we won't have enough people to deal with something like that. Well, looks like the mercenaries are fighting back, which is cool. But man, we hired you to protect the base, and y'all kind of let us down. I mean, against that big of a force, I don't blame them, but same time. Oh, what is this? Band of Bones? Now we're going to have to take the place back from them, too? Oh, no, they're leaving. Ransacking town. No, that's what they're doing. I don't think they're destroying anything. There weren't enough of those guys to be worried. So they're going to run back and forth for a little bit. We can handle them, and we'll just peel anybody that wants to get crazy with us. Don't tell me these slavers are going to mess with us. Don't do it. If you mess with us, I will peel every one of you. You already took our friggin' base guards that we hired out. Dirtbags. Yeah, looks like they're just going to hang out at our base until we clear them out, so let's go do that. at least this way, by leaving Belt behind, we at least had the option to, I don't know, watch them raid it and not necessarily have to deal with the slavers ourselves. Let's come to the middle of town. Start shooting these nerds. So the next thing we need is a peeler machine and storage for animal skins. Yeah, what the heck? I wish I could just put people in there. That would be great. And then power, we want a corpse furnace. Oh, we haven't gotten the revolving harpoon turret. We got the double barrel though. Ooh, looks like we only get 3 there. Steel bars and copper alloy. So we don't even have everything to build those yet. So we're gonna hold off on that. We're gonna take him off of managing the farm. And we're gonna move, well, let's save just in case. I suppose I could have just left them in Squin and changed the name. Doesn't really matter. Let's get Beep in here doing the farming. Dang it, Beep, get back in there so I can set your jobs. We're gonna want at least 1 cooking stove. We're gonna take these guys off of engineering. Let the townspeople take care of most of that. townies. What was the next thing I probably wanted to build? More batteries, maybe? Nah, we got the batteries. I shouldn't be including Beep in all this. He needs to be off of engineering. But we'll do one more hydroponic vegetables. Set everyone but Beep to do that. Oh, looks like we got the green fruit to build plenty of those. That should be enough, though, for this small of a group. I don't think we're going to need more than that, especially if we're bringing home spare food here and there. Let's go ahead and build more peelers. I don't really intend on taking prisoners out of random people trying to ransack our home. You guys made your bed, now you get to not sleep good in it, I guess. Ooh, we used up our building materials? That didn't seem right. No, we didn't. What is going on with the pathing for these things? That's annoying. We'll figure that out later, though. Oh, hey, there's a couple of those guys left around. I think we got rid of the bandits that were left. Is there anyone here? Slaver caravan guard. Yep, you know where you're going. I don't have time for any of that. Anybody that messes with our town is toast. We've got plenty of food, it looks like. Although we could use more building materials. Beep. Let's get you working on these as well, and that should be good to go. I might have to import again to fix that, but that's fine. And since we're just traveling to Katoon for materials, we can make it back before any kind of base mishap can happen. We need to remember we need copper alloys. I need to set up a new tech bench, and I need to get to researching. I don't think the shop here has ancient science books by default. Nope, that's okay though. I think if I do chainmail crafting, we are definitely gonna do it here, not back at the base. Which could get kind of annoying. I'll have to play it by ear. Ooh, that is awful. Why is that spinning in my face? Alright, let's get these guys to work. We need an ore drill. Do we have that yet? We do not. We gotta get research going too, it looks like. Actually, I don't want to do that there. We've got room down here inside. That way I can just put an overhead lamp on it. Then we need a bolt box in here somewhere. Over here seems good. And an arrow making bench. Whoa, what? Why are they attacking the wall? Maybe they'll stop sending people if we keep peeling them like onions. Okay. We still need more iron plates? Is that where we're at? No? Oh, I turned everyone's jobs off so they didn't get mowed down. That's right. We'll just go ahead and let them help engineer, because I'm not making a storage for things like copper alloys. What do we need? Copper alloy plates. We didn't have enough of that? Oh, lame. We didn't even research that yet. Go ahead and do copper alloys. I think I'm going to take the home base guys off of engineering because it just keeps getting them hurt. Who are these absolute goons trying to kill me? Farm traders on the way. And that's it so far. Are we running low on crossbow bolts? Little bit. No, not really. Guys, shoot them. Yeah, we're just gonna take them off of engineer. Nothing good seems to be coming from that. We will find you guys something better to do soon. Honestly, don't even think they should be on medic. Or robotics, for that matter. Okay, what did we need from industry? I need more ancient science books. Okay. So before we can really make crossbow bolts, we need that. That is unfortunate. Hmm. No, not belt. That's such a goober thing. Well, we need more science, that much is clear. We don't have everything we need to defend the base properly. We're gonna make a separate squad. Maybe we'll call it base defense. And we'll leave base defense here. Just in case things go down while we're out. We're not nearly as strong of a fighting force now, but it is what it is. Belt, why didn't you make it? Come on. We're going to head up to a spot in the burning forest where Belt thinks we can find some stuff. Because we just need a quick grab of ancient science books. We don't need a ton of them. We might even have to hit the Black Desert City. Ooh, I heard something growling. No, not coming after us, so we don't care. Now, it's not nothing that we're at literally half strength. That matters a lot. So we are going to be careful and try to stay out of trouble where we can. We're not going to start crap with anybody on our own. We'll leave that to them. We're pushing pretty late though. I've been going about 3 hours. This is definitely a lot a much longer stream than usual, but we got started late and I'm having too much fun. I mean, there's some challenges here and there that I'm having to deal with, but this is just pure Kenshi, you know? I don't like to necessarily overthink it. It would have been better if I had went and done a little hunting before setting up my base, but we've got food. We can buy crossbow bolts as needed. We can make them out of the iron plates we buy if we have to. Farm trader. Let's see what he's got. Iron plates, building materials, a little bit of food. Nothing fancy. Nothing we needed too bad. What is... Oh, they're fighting. We'll leave you to it. You guys have fun. Looks like we found some blood spiders. Now we definitely want the caravan formation. Pull it this way. Oof. That. Whoops. Man, Belt got wrecked. Griffin, go ahead and trade with him. Grab one of his repair kits. Belt got annihilated. Oh my goodness, what is with all the blood spiders? Are we for real right now? Are we about to have to retreat inside? Are we really going to lose half the squad to two giant random flocks of blood spiders? Like, what is going on? This is ridiculous. Oh my god, look at how many there are. What the hell? It looks like we're holding our own against them at least, but that was crazy how many popped up. Just out of nowhere. Luckily, we're not taking much damage from them. Belt's back on the ground. Griffin, go repair him. No, go repair Belt. Can't have him dying out of nowhere. Okay, everybody trade Ruka. Let's make sure everyone can take care of Belt, not just one or two people. And let's get out of the open. That was terrible. I really wanted to bait any robot spiders there are down there, but I guess this will have to do. Guys, what are you doing? Just fight. Oh my goodness. Hold. Shoot the dang things. I don't understand what kind of stupidity is going on here. There's so many of these guys. Are we gonna be able to handle it? We gotta focus fire these things, guys. So many of these damn spiders. Everybody push up to here. Take out these spiders. Griffin, pull back. It is not looking good. Yep, we're gonna end up losing limbs. We already lost one for belt. This is gonna be ugly. Everybody just stay down. Nobody's in terrible danger. We've got to try to bail with everyone that can. Belt's fucking dying. God damn it. These things are ridiculous. Looks like only Belt lost a limb, which is good. I would say this is definitely considered a failure, though. Oh my god, guys, come on. See, this is where it gets ugly. Blood spiders coming in here. I don't think I have a gate that I can close. There's nothing here to close, yeah. I think we've killed all the robot spiders, finally. Nope, two more. That's crazy. Do we even have a camp bed? I don't think anybody even has a sleeping bag. Did not come prepared. That's okay. Who's still got functioning arms? I never would have expected us to have this much trouble. This just goes to show, while we're really strong, we're certainly not invincible. And once we've had to deal with enough damage, things go downhill pretty quick. Our leader doesn't have a freaking arm. Taking so much damage. There's some splint kits. We can give those to Kang, maybe. Maybe he can splint some people. Nope, guess not. What do we have? Two of these guys. Belt is still bleeding to death? Hello? What am I supposed to do about that? It says his bleeding's getting worse. Oh boy. Two more spiders, huh? Oh, I thought that said Peace was dead. I was freaking out for a second. Oh no. Whoo-wee. Sorry, this battle got intense for a second. I practically went mute. We were getting our butts kicked. Alright, let's make sure this thing is dead. Oh, this got intense fast. Take everyone off of hold. We still lost an arm on belt. I may have to get him out of here so he doesn't bleed to death. That's nuts. Alright, are there any more robo spiders? Does not look like it. How's your lock picking with one arm, belt? Yeah, he's still bleeding. We've got it cleared. We're gonna have to try and make it to Flats Lagoon alive. We're kind of at the point of just trying to make it there alive. These three are gonna wait here. They're too slow. And we'll grab some sleeping bags while we're there, along with some food. But I think Belt might bleed out if I don't get him some help. Yeah, he's dying. We have repair kits, though. Why wasn't anyone able to repair him? No, all I can do is put him down. Slick, can you do repair? Nope. We're having to make an entire ass detour just because Belt won't stop bleeding and we can't repair him further. We're also going to hire some mercenaries. I can't believe Belt almost died. I'm glad I was paying attention. We've repaired him as much as it'll let us repair him, so I'm guessing he has to get the arm replaced or has to lay in an actual repair bed, or he's still just going to bleed out and die, which is intense. Oh, hold up. We have to wait for the land bats. Oh boy. Ruka. No, they're in trouble. That's nuts. Except I want to say, where are the ones we left here? We want you guys to stay. You're too slow. Griffin, you get him into a bed and then we'll buy some help. Okay, he's done bleeding out, which is just dandy. That's what we wanted. Come on, you guys. I need some tech hunters, some guards, bodyguards, something. Don't be acting like you're not ready to protect. I know you guys got some bodyguards here. Who's in charge? It's not going to be Chad. He's a recruitable. Are they in the other bar, maybe? Maybe the boss is over here? Well, there's these guys. UC pacifier. Hiring bodyguards for 4 days. I need food. Sleeping bags. Kang, you three wait there. Go ahead and sneak. We gotta save. We're touching the squads. Okay. We're gonna move Kang to the very back. We're gonna move Adi to the very back. And Peace. That lets me know who not to try and move around. Sleeping bags. Alright, let's just get going to help our people. Goodness gracious. Get you guys in here. Get everybody here grouped up. Then let's head to the ancient labs. Let's check on the home front. We have tons of food. Stuff's growing. Khaled, what's going on with you? Oh, the food is stuffed full. Okay. Let's get more food storage going. Guys, why is it always the water? I guess it kind of makes sense here, but dang it. This has been absolutely intense. Okay. We had a close call. We almost lost our leader again. Just because we couldn't get him to stop bleeding even after fully repairing him. What a nightmare. Oh man, and now there's beak things on our back. Let's get Belt in the back. We got some guys that are out of crossbow bolts. Oh boy. IRL coming fast. Let's get our people to actually have crossbows to spread out. Ruka, you spread out. Belt, you just don't have an arm. This is going so poorly. Like the moment we reduced our numbers by half, it's been just a disaster ever since. And there's more beak things. These mercs better start pulling their weight. That's all I got to say. I lose any limbs out here, I'm blaming it on them. Slick, do you have bolts? You do. You need to back up. We need anybody who can shoot to be shooting. Oh my god, of course you guys are still down here. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, come on. Now you're just messing with me. I knew this area was dangerous, but this is getting ridiculous. We have to get to our people and get them home. I'm so over it with these god dang beak things. Go live in the frickin' high bone fields, I said. It'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? Oh my goodness. I almost need to put them in their own little group. Just so I can quit giving commands to everybody. Where did our mercenaries go? Did they really already get punked? I don't know what I'm gonna do here if I don't get peace back in here to safety. Come on, get in there. No! This can't be real. We're so dead. We can't lose half the squad. Not like this. Not like this. Dude, what in the world? I almost just want to get it over with. Like, we're not gonna beat them. Nobody's dying. Group up on Ruka. Somebody pick her up. It's almost nighttime. It'll be a little safer. This has been the most ridiculous expedition we've encountered so far. Oh, now you guys show up. Nice to see you again, you punks. Nice of you to show up. Where is Peace? Peace, get your... Oh my god, come on! I don't know what the fuck possessed Peace to just keep running into trouble, but I'm not a fan. She had to lead them away or everybody was gonna die in there before we could even get to them. And of course, everyone's just going down. Jesus. What a joke. Peace, you really fucked us. Okay, Griffin. Pick up him. Pick up Peace. Everybody's going to these guys. And that's it. Oh my god. Alright, we're not staying to heal. Everybody move. Move. Right now. Everybody free sprint this way. Man, this is going to be a next time on Dragon Ball Z moment. It's getting late. I've been on here for 3.5 hours. We'll get it sorted out, but everyone's going to hang out up here. We're going to get healed up. Then we'll get home tomorrow and see what we can do about fixing up Belt. Camp Beds. We can lay out beds in here, which is great. We didn't have enough for everybody, but that's okay. Just start from the top. What a disaster. Already missing an arm. He's not in his armor because I thought I was going to run just him. Oh boy. Wow. Yep, definitely been playing too long. Definitely doofusing. But now I know why he got beat up so bad and why it was such a problem. I will be carrying him back, and hopefully we will not die on the way. We will get this going again tomorrow. I should be on tomorrow. If not, it'll resume Monday. All our plans just went up in smoke like right now, so we'll see where it goes from there. This was a little bit more of a rough fight, but that's kind of how Kenshi goes, you know. You think everything's fine, and then suddenly everyone won't stop losing limbs and dying. But we've got food, enough to sit here and rest. We're not going to be able to keep these guys around for it. We'll probably pick up our 3 people who don't get to rest as well and just hope for the best. We've got to get back to base and actually be somewhere safe for a little bit. Not that we have great base defense set up. I hope they don't get attacked while we're gone. And that was a stupid thing to say, but I will save it right there. It's going to be hard not to want to jump in and keep going on this, so I will be back as soon as I literally can stream again. I will catch y'all later.